Welcome back, guys, to the Mike Chandler Show. Before we get into today's episode, make sure you head over to my landing page to get all that raw, unedited, exclusive content at the Chandelier private group. Check it out. You don't want to miss it. We have our guest today, Joshua Jazzy JC Collins. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah. So today I didn't even ask him. Usually I get some filler questions and stuff like that. But I told him, I was like, I just want to have a conversation. Yep. We ain't about trying to make it formal. Me and him go way back. I've known Josh for a long time. He used to beat me up on the basketball court a little bit. I'm going to tell you one thing. This dude, he can fight. I was like, hey, there's one dude I don't want to mess with right here. JC, he's known for them hands, man. He's got them hands. So we're going to go back. I want to start it off, who you are. Yeah. So if you want to tell them a little bit who you are, get a little bio about what you do.
Yeah.
Kids, family, where you come from.
Absolutely. So, of course, like Mike said, I'm Joshua DJ Jazzy JC Collins. I'm from West Virginia. Lived here almost my whole life. I'm down here in St. Albans now with my family. Got 3 wonderful kids. Got a 22-year-old daughter. Got a 13-year-old son. And believe it or not, I've got an 11-year-old daughter who turns 12 tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah.
So you got 3 kids?
I got 3 kids. 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, 3
All
of
right.
them.
And
girl,
what else?
boy, girl.
What else? You got a DJ company?
Yeah, I do. So I'm the owner of We Make You the Star Entertainment. We travel all over the United States. I've been doing this for 26 years in this business, traveling. Over the past, right around COVID, I kind of slowed down on traveling as much due to my kids being older and wanting to be more at home with my kids, my other half, and stuff like that.
Involved in sports. I know your son plays basketball.
Yeah. And then my oldest daughter at the time, she was in high school.
Right.
So I wanted to be home for her. And then my youngest daughter came in and just wanted to be more around them instead of, catching a plane to New York and then having to drive to, Philadelphia and stuff like that. Traveling was a lot.
Yeah.
Wear and tear on your body. And the older I got, it started wearing me down because originally we started off like I drove everywhere.
You ain't that damn old.
I'm 40, man. I'll be 41 January.
You've lived. That's what we're going to talk about. You have lived probably you've been in a lot of fights, a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not like you're not the type that starts it.
Correct.
Yeah. So I say you're 40, but you've lived some hard years. You've played a lot of sports. You played football too, right?
I did football,
basketball, fighter. So your body's took a beating a little bit.
A lot of beating, yeah.
But let's rewind back. Let's go to what's made JC who JC is today.
Yeah.
Let's go back to your childhood, as early as you want.
Okay.
Where'd you go to elementary school?
So that's the thing. So
we can go back before that too.
Yeah. So going back to my childhood, of course, I was born and raised. I wouldn't say poor, but I was kind of raised in the projects. My dad wasn't around due to he got in some trouble. So my dad is Mexican. Was born and raised in Wichita, Kansas. Him and my uncle, when they were younger, moved to Chicago. My mom's originally from West Virginia. Be honest with you, I don't remember how they met from Chicago to West Virginia, but I think my dad came here. He actually got ran out of Chicago from stuff that he was doing, so they ran him and my uncle out.
You don't want to touch on that, right?
Nah. They just
some hardcore stuff.
Yeah, some hard. Yeah, so they just told him
your dad was an outlaw.
Yeah, so they just told him they no longer needed to be there. So he came down here and met my mom at a bar down here in Jefferson. She, of course, got pregnant with me, and then he ended up going away for a while. So I didn't meet my dad again until I was about 9 or 10 is when I actually seen him. Like, I was a kid, so I didn't know what a dad was. So knew him. So my mom raised me, and of course I was raised in different projects. The thing about what elementary school I went to, it's kind of complicated. So my mom lived a rough life. I had family on my mom and dad's side that were here and stuff like that. My dad's side, I didn't really get connected with them until I was a little bit older, due to some family situations like with my dad and stuff like that.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but your dad's family's from here or no?
Yes. Well, some of them are from here, some are from Chicago, Kansas.
So he did have ties to West Virginia.
He did.
Before he met your mom?
No, not before he met my mom. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but my mom's side of the family, they're a little different. Believe it or not, man, even to this day, I only speak to a couple of them. They haven't really been around and stuff like that. When I was younger, we went to Thanksgiving and stuff like that, but it was like 30 minutes, an hour, and I was out.
Right.
Just no connection there. They're a little different. So I wasn't raised in that family structure. So
you family oriented. So
right. So I didn't know what. I know this sounds kind of crazy, and some people may be able to relate this. So being loved as a kid,
you didn't know how.
I didn't know how. So I didn't know how to do it. And my mom was going through her trials. She was going out every night, and my mom was she was an addict.
Mm-hmm.
She'd be clean for a while, and I'm talking about this is when I'm a kid, like a baby, like 12 months, 1 year old. My mom was always
Late 80s,
good.
Early 90s.
Yeah, so she always made sure I was taken care of. I might not have had the nicest stuff and stuff like that, but unfortunately, my mom ran in the streets and stuff like that.
So who took care of you when your mom was doing that? Like who was that person?
So the person
there had to be that person.
Believe it or not, man, the person, and it's actually my uncle, but he's more like a brother to me. So it's my uncle, Jason. So he was the one that when my mom was out and about, and he was even a kid because my uncle's only 6 years older than me.
Right.
So he was the one that would stay home, play video games with me. We fought like brothers, fist fights and stuff like that. He's
probably the one that taught you how to fight.
He's actually the one, believe it or not, he's the one that actually taught me how to take care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
He was always the one that, it was brought to me that you never start nothing. Like you never do nothing to nobody if somebody's talking to you or something like that. He's, you wait till they put their hands on you. You never just start somewhere they headbutt you or something like that. But I was never, I never wanted to fight. Like it wasn't like something that I wanted to do. Like I was like out here trying to fight. But when I was younger, I went to multiple elementary schools. And I know this sounds crazy. So when I was a kid, I went to...
You go to Chandler?
I went to Belleville Elementary, which is the old St. Albans High School. I went to Belleville. I went to Weimer. I went to Rock Branch Elementary. I went to Bridgeview Elementary. And I went to Ford Elementary.
Damn.
I went to 5 elementary schools. Now, if you think about it,
now
back when we were younger,
you go to 5 elementary schools because you kept moving, or because you kept getting in trouble?
Because my mom kept moving.
Okay.
So my mom was moving, so I never had a steady place to stay.
I just didn't know if you was getting in trouble. Or
No. So that's the crazy thing. Like I never got in trouble.
When was your first fight? Honestly, your first real fight.
My first real fight.
Because we're talking about elementary,
yeah,
so I feel like I've been in elementary.
Yeah, so it was Bridgeview Elementary.
That's in South.
And
Charleston,
it was
right?
right. It was 4th grade. Was my real actual fight.
Now, did you win?
I did. It's a crazy story. So everybody back then, not everybody, but most of the kids around that area, a lot of us, I liked everybody. Like I hung out with everybody. But the thing is, some kids, just like today's age, they have nicer clothes than some people have. And, I thought I had nice clothes. I had shoes that had straps on them, but they weren't like Nike and stuff like that. I didn't get my first Nikes till I was in 6th grade. My mom,
LA
Knights, yeah. But my mom bought my first Nikes. I don't know how she came up with the money, but we went to Sport Mart.
Yeah,
and I bought,
that's a big deal back then.
And I bought Nikes. Yeah. They were like $39, and I thought that was a huge deal.
Yeah.
So that was my first pair of Nikes in 6th grade. But so back in 4th grade, we were at Bridgeview Elementary, and this kid always picked on. He's kind of like the bully, and everybody was scared of him. And I was kind of newer to Bridgeview. This is my first year there,
and everybody was probably looking for somebody to stand up against him.
Right. So we weren't even 2 months into school, and we were sitting at the lunch table. It was me and a couple good friends of mine that I grew up with down in South Charleston, and we're sitting at a lunch table. And it's back when you had the milk with the square with the bag. You had to poke it in there.
Yep.
So we're down there sitting or whatever, and he's sitting behind me. Well, you know how you can tell somebody's behind you or whatever. So all my friends are like, hey, like that guy's, making faces behind your back. And like he was behind me, like making faces, just trying to start something or whatever. So I ignored it and I got done eating or whatever. And he said something to me. And I turned around, I looked at him and I said, I pretty much told him, I said, hey, that's enough, man. Like nobody cares what you're doing. Like just turn around and sit in your seat. Well, he pushed me from behind, and when he pushed me from behind, I turned around, and I didn't throw my first punch, but I grabbed him by the throat, and I picked him up off the ground and threw him through the table on top of everybody's food.
Damn, that's some Undertaker.
Yeah. So it was a choke slam. Like I grabbed him by his throat, and I picked him up and slammed him to the table. And when I slammed him to the table, I put him down, put a pin in his head down. I just hit him like 3 good times. and of course knocked him out. And then to me, I mean he was a little unconscious, and me as a 10, 11-year-old, like I was like, oh, what the hell did I just do? You know what I mean?
Power.
Like, right, and I didn't know that, so I was like, what the hell did I just do to this kid? And he ended up waking up, and of course I got my first suspension from school. So they sent me home, and of course, back then it's if a kid gets in a fight, there's something wrong with him. He's got to take medicine, and it was the craziest thing. And the thing was, like, academic wise, like I was top of my class, and
Right.
math. I mean, all that stuff, like tests. I was always good at books in school and stuff like that. And of course, I kept myself busy by playing sports. But as the time as I'm moving, I'm playing sports because sports was kind of like my outlook. Like I was really good in football, and I was really good in basketball because I was physical. I kind of understood techniques and stuff like that, and I could outwork anybody. Like I was just self-motivated. Like nobody's going to outwork me. So I played sports all over the place, and that's how I met a lot of people, was through sports and stuff like that. So long story short, so we're living on Abney Street in St. Albans. And my mom, I'll kind of put this out there. A lot of people know this because I love my mom. God bless her soul. So my mom got with my brother's dad. My brother wasn't here yet. And I watched my mom, and it wasn't just this situation, other situations. My mom was getting beat a lot, like, and I would see that, and as a young kid, I would take up for my mom. So like I would jump on these people, like there was these girls and guys that would jump on my mom at my house, and I would do whatever it did to protect my mom because I didn't understand what was going on. Like somebody's just attacking my mom, and even though my mom had her demons at a young age, I had to grow up pretty quick, so I didn't get to really be a kid. So I had to kind of grow up, learn how to take care of myself. And once again, my mom always cooked and stuff like that, but my mom was gone a lot during the day, whatever she was doing. So my uncle would be there, and my uncle taught me how to cook the basic stuff, like breakfast food and stuff like that. So I ended up finding out that my mom, and back in the 80s and 90s, I mean, it was there, but it wasn't as open as it is now. But my mom ended up being bisexual. So my mom dated a lot of women. So I found that out, and I didn't know what that was at that age.
Right.
So me and my friends were walking to school, and I was like, man, I said, what's it mean, like, when your mom kisses a girl? And I didn't know. Like, I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Man, next thing you know, my go running her mouth, start telling everybody this. Then I get in multiple fights because people are saying
for your mom.
Well, people are saying stuff mean because back then,
it wasn't accepted.
It wasn't accepted,
Right?
And people look down upon that, which to me, it don't bother me. However you live your life, I mean, that's totally up to you guys. Like I don't, it's your choice, and I don't believe anybody should be judged on that. You can't help who you love, and you can't help who you are. But back then, people. It was you seen that. I mean, it was war.
Yep.
So I got in a lot of fights. So I ended up getting kicked out of school. So they told me that I couldn't go. Well, the crazy thing is they sent me. This is back in the day. So it was called Shawnee something, I can't remember. So they sent me there because they were like, Josh has anger issues because he's fighting.
Yeah, I remember Shawnee, like development,
right,
attention,
right.
That, yeah.
So I go there, and they got me in front of a counselor, and I'm talking to him, and the counselor's like, "Man, you seem like a pretty good kid. Why are you fighting?" And I kind of explained to him. Well, the first thing they wanted to do, kind of like they wanted to medicate me.
Yeah.
So they prescribed me this medicine and stuff like that. And you know what the crazy thing is? I never took one pill.
Yeah.
Never took one. They prescribed it to me, and I told my mom I wasn't taking it. No, so it was. Like back then, it was like it was Ritalin, Dexedrine, and Depakote, and because what they wanted to do, they wanted to medicate you to where you wasn't there, and I was like, dude, I'm not taking that. I don't need that. Like I'm not mad. I'm just defending myself.
Right.
These kids are saying stuff. I'm not going up and hitting them. They're saying stuff, and I'm confronting them about it. Then they put their hands on me, so I defend myself. So, anyways, long story short, so I find that out. Start going through all that. Well, then my brother comes into this world, my younger brother through my mom, and through his dad, and his dad was going through some trouble too with my mom, and it was a bad relationship for both of them. They weren't
a younger brother.
They weren't good for each other. So I kind of when I grew up fast, I kind of had to take care of my brother too. So I kind of took care of my brother and stuff like that, and my uncle was taking care of me, and we were all three of us were taking care of each other. Well, during this time, I've got family that's in and out, and I finally start meeting some of my cousins on my dad's side, get a relationship there. But the crazy thing is, like on my mom's side, they're like, you can feel a difference to when you're kind of like the black sheep.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that I was the black sheep, but I could tell my mom didn't have that relationship with like her siblings and stuff like that. Besides her and my uncle were really close, but even they got into arguments and stuff like that. But you kind of felt different. Like when you show up to family functions,
you can
you can
something's off here.
Yeah, something's off. So
the energy's not right.
Right. So as I grew up,
you come in the room, they quit talking, and you walk out, and they're like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, and as I grow up, I'm starting to see this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So as I'm getting older, like I don't want to be around people like that. Like I'm not going to stick around. Even like when I hung out and stuff like that with people out and about, like I want to be around positivity. I've got enough negativity going on in my personal life, family life to be right. Yeah. So they're all talking back and forth and stuff like that. So finally, I kind of narrowed down. Like Thanksgiving, Christmas, I'm there 30 or 45 minutes and I'm out. So I don't hang around and stuff like that. So I started playing sports as my outlet, to kind of release some stuff that was going on, kind of behind the scenes, what was going on at my house, the stuff that I was seeing, because I was seeing drugs at an early age. And the crazy thing is, and you know this, and everybody out there that knows me and stuff, I don't drink, don't do drugs, don't do none of that. Yeah. And this is kind of why I tell people this. Do
you find it hard? Like, does it surprise people that you never drink?
Dude, if I had $1 for every time somebody
because I didn't know this till a few years ago.
Yeah, so if I had $1 for every time somebody was like, yeah, right, we always see you with a cup.
Yeah.
Well, that cup is either Coke, Pepsi, or water, or orange juice or cranberry. Yeah. And because, back when I was younger and me and all my friends would go out, I was the DD. Like I took everybody home. Even still to this day, if I was DJing somewhere.
What's made you not ever really? Have you ever been drunk?
No.
Never.
No.
So what made, like, just growing up and seeing like your mom battling? He's like, I never want to battle any type of addiction. What made you not drink, not smoke, not do anything?
Yeah, well, that's the kind of thing where I was always involved in working out and keeping myself busy through sports or being out on the playground or riding my bike and stuff like that. I never felt the need to do it,
right?
Because I watched my mom and all her friends at our house, and I seen overdoses at a young age. Like I was probably, Mike, I was 8 or 9 years old watching people overdose and watching people throw them in a bathtub. And sometimes I would have to help. I'm a kid, but I see somebody in trouble.
Trying to wake them up.
Well, and people are so messed up that's around that I would have to, I'd have to put them in a tub to try to wake them up. And see, we ain't have internet back then. So we're just going by instinct and going by what you're told. Right. So there ain't no Google. You can't Google on how to revive somebody. So, so all this stuff is like in my house and stuff like that. Now, it was made for us not to see it because my mom, she had a house. So our house, she had a back bedroom, but off to the bedroom, it's kind of like an office. So all this stuff was going on in there. But, I'd go back there to see, what is my mom doing?
You want to check in.
And I'd open the door. I'd open the door, man, and I'd see all this stuff laid out on the table. And it was the craziest thing to me to see that. And I never knew what it was. So eventually I had to ask my uncle. I was like, what's going on? And he's like, he didn't want to tell me. And he was like, for a while he played it off. And then one time my mom ended up overdosing at the house. And me and him were there. And we had to take care of her. And I was like, what the hell is this? Like, I don't want to touch it. Like, because I thought if you touched it, like that's what happened to you. I didn't know how you did it because I was a kid. But
what were they shooting up or something?
So I mean, believe it or not, man, my mom suffered with depression, anxiety. She dealt with a lot because a lot of stuff that happened to her when she was younger. So my mom was a trier. Like I don't think, knowing what I know being around her, I don't think there was nothing she turned down. But I know when we were younger, it ain't like all the stuff that's out now. You know, she smoked marijuana. Cocaine was real big back then. Crack was real big back then, and of course a little bit of pills, but all the crack and coke were real big back then. I mean, that was the go to in the 80s and 90s. So I seen a lot of that. So I never wanted to be around it. And I was like, man, if this stuff is doing this to people, like I got to do better for myself, and I don't want nobody else around it. So, I started doing my own research and stuff like that. And then I finally, I had to have a conversation with my mom.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm a kid, but I'm a lot more mature than most probably 10-year-olds. So I told my mom, I said, why are you doing this to yourself? Like you're going to end up killing yourself. And then where are me and my brother going to go?
Right.
So
how old's your brother?
So my brother is 6 years younger than me. So I'm 40. So he's 34.
Do I know him?
You probably seen him out and about. He's my brother's real quiet. He was in the military, has a great family with himself and stuff like that. So he's real.
I don't think I've met him.
No, he's real laid back. A great.
What's his first name?
Taylor. Yeah, he's a great person. Taylor
Different
Collins.
last.
Yeah, no, we got the same last name.
Taylor Collins.
Yeah, so me and my brother don't have either one of our dad's
like
last
I know
names.
him. Yeah, I feel like I've seen him out.
You probably have, but we don't have. We got our mom's last name. We don't have our dad's.
Okay.
Yeah, which is crazy.
What's your dad's last name?
Romero.
Yeah. Now there's some Romeros too. There's a dude I know. Last name Romero, moved down to Charleston, South Carolina.
James, that's my cousin.
Yeah. So he hangs out with Roger Meadows.
Yeah. So James is my cousin.
How's he related to Roger Meadows, or they know each other?
They just know each other.
Because I know the Meadows.
Yeah. So James played ball at Hayes.
Okay.
James was a good athlete too.
Yeah.
He was a heck of an athlete, and
And how's he related to your dad?
So his dad and my dad are brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're both brothers.
I was wondering how that connected.
Yeah. So I mean, I grew up around it. And I just didn't want nothing to do with it because I seen what it was doing. It was tearing my house apart.
Yeah.
Because I was watching my mom, because my mom was beautiful. Like if you see pictures of my mom when she was younger, when I was younger.
What was her first name?
Gayla. So when she
Gayla Collins.
Yeah. So when you seen her, she was. I mean, people thought she was my sister.
Right.
Like they didn't know because she had me at a young age. So
yeah, my mom did too. My mom had me at 17. How old was your mom?
So my mom was 17 going
17.
on 18.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same.
So she was young.
My mom died young too.
Yeah. So yeah, mine too. So my
In
mom
her 40s.
51.
51. My mom was 46 or 7.
Yeah, my mom was 51 and drugs took her life. She OD'd.
OD. What year?
She got clean for 2 years. Maybe about 4 or 5 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, dude, I lost both of my parents by the time I was 35. I lost my mom and dad.
Yeah, that's young.
Yeah, so my mom, crazy. So I was on the road, and I got a call from the cops that said, you need to come by. Now, remind you, my mom was doing better. She was clean for almost 3 years.
Yeah.
Like, had her own house, apartment. Yeah. And that's the thing with...
So what happens when you get clean and you go to try back, you're not ready for it. And then...
Well, what happened is she had a friend that got out of jail. And he found my mom and stopped by and thought my mom still did stuff like that. Yeah. Well, when he went in or whatever, they did it. They did it. My mom ended up doing it. Because like I told you, my mom's a trier. Like,
right.
She relapsed. And she did it. And it took her life. And the messed up part is
she done drugs ever since you've been born, off and on.
Yep. Oh yeah.
What's the longest she'd been clean? And that was recent.
That was right before she passed away.
3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm. She was clean for almost 3 years, and so I was starting to go around her again. And I took
trying to bring the family.
Took my kids. They were younger, and I took my kids to see her because she's getting clean. Now I never let them go in the house or nothing. Right. We'd meet like outside and stuff like that. But if you go to my mom's house, it'd be the cleanest house you ever seen. I mean, nothing. You wouldn't be able to tell if you didn't know. House is spotless because, the thing is with people that do drugs, when they're coming off of it, they got to keep themselves occupied. So she cleaned every day. Like, even if it didn't clean, yeah. So she cleaned. So the house was spotless. So we'd go outside and meet and stuff like that. And I told her how proud I was of her and stuff like that. And then I got that call that night. And the crazy part is the guy that, it was her choice, but the guy shot her up and passed away, and he left her. He knew she died. So he left and the door was cracked, and her neighbor came over to knock on the door and was like, "Hey, Galen," and the door was cracked, and he found her. It was the craziest thing ever because, I've got to come identify. They call me to come make sure.
Did that guy get arrested or anything for?
Yeah. No, he didn't get arrested.
Questioned?
Yeah, well, they couldn't find him. So, and he never got in trouble for it because I guess I never got into it
Right.
because my mom's gone. So
You
what's it
don't know
gonna?
him?
What's I do? But he's gone too. He passed away.
Away.
Yeah. So I got to come identify the body now. So I get a call from my aunt and them, and they're like, "Hey, you need to get down here. It's an emergency." In my mind, I'm thinking, my mom done got in a fight with somebody, or she done messed somebody up, or something like that. So I go down there, or whatever, and I see all the cops and all the cars, and I was like, damn, my mom done stabbed somebody. You know what I mean? I didn't know. So I get out and I see a couple of police officers that I know, and they're like, "Josh, I'm sorry, man." And then I knew, I knew, but I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of heard them, but I was walking because I seen her door open.
Yeah.
And man, they're like, "Are you Gayla's son, Josh Collins?" And I was like, "Yeah." They're like, "We need you to come in and identify that this is your mom."
Yeah.
And it's by far the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, it's something that you see that you can't get out because she was dead for 4 hours.
Mm.
So the way that her body was, it was in a recliner. So not to get too visual, but her leg was caught under the recliner and she was half on the couch. So her body molded because she was dead for 4 hours and she was all purple and blue. So I had to come in and, you see your mom gone, laying half on the couch and half the leg under. I mean, ain't nothing you can do. Like, I can't help her no more.
Yeah.
So, but she's not
that's
suffering
rough.
no more,
That's
nothing
rough.
like that. And so, that's why family to me is like really important, because I don't want my kids to ever feel that I wasn't there. So when I started DJing and stuff like that, that's why I really started slowing down after that. I'm still, DJing a lot, but
That's what I was going to do. I was going to go
back.
back before we get into the DJ part. I was going to go back into, like, you went to junior high. Where'd you go to junior high?
Yeah.
So out of elementary school, we know you got in that
that's
fight.
another thing.
Now, where'd you go to junior high? Let's rewind back.
Yeah. So I went to Dunbar Junior High,
Dunbar,
South Charleston Junior High. Then I got in a bad fight, and right after school, on my way to football practice.
South Charleston.
Yeah. So we were going to football practice.
Yeah.
There was a kid. I go to the bathroom,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a kid in there, and he was smoking or whatever. And I leave and walk out of the bathroom, and then I go back to class. Well, rumors start circulating. So the kid gets caught smoking in the bathroom. Well, I guess somebody seen me come out the bathroom, so they started saying I snitched on the kid for smoking in the bathroom. So two of the kids that were in a behavior class, they were friends with him or whatever, and the rumor got around. They said, on your way to football practice, we're both going to jump you or whatever. So I already knew it was coming. So purposely, usually I go out the back door and walk.
Do you still know these guys?
Yeah. So purposely, I walk out the back door. Usually when we go to football, we walk out the back door where Holiday Inn and all that is, and we walk. There used to be a Dairy Freeze. We'd stop there and go to practice. Freeze. Well, I knew it was coming. So, and I knew there'd be a lot of people out there, and I didn't really want nobody. If something went wrong or went bad, I didn't want nobody to see it. So I got the front door and walked down that street. So, we got our shoulder pads. You got your bag with your shoulder pads. So I'm walking with it. The two guys come walking out behind me. Now, they don't come immediately walking out behind me, but as I'm walking, I'm looking back, and I finally see them come out the door. So I cut a right into this parking lot to kind of where nobody can see. So I'm kind of planning it out like, hey, here's what's going to happen if it happens. So by the time I turned, one of them came running, and he pushed my bag. Like, I guess he thought he was going to push me down. So he pushed my bag, and I turned around and, of course, hit him. The other guy came running, I hit him. Now, the reason why I got in trouble is why he was down. He had something in his pocket. I didn't know what it was. So he went to reach in his pocket and get something, and I kicked him in the head. And when I kicked him in the head, I fractured his jaw, eye socket, and knocked out two of his teeth. So it was over. They were laying there or whatever. So I went to football practice, did practice, got out, went home. The next day, the cops were at the school, stuff like that. Well, I was the only seventh grader at that time. I was the first seventh grader that went to a school called Cowboy Alternative. Now, the reason why they sent me there is because the fight was so bad. So not book wise.
Yeah, they're like, hey, this guy could really hurt
right,
kid.
and that's what they thought. They didn't know the whole story, and I tried to explain it to them. But at that time, where I was in so many bad fights that even though I didn't start them, and they knew that, it was just, I guess I was kind of at a risk because people were getting hurt.
Because
so
the damage you can do.
right. So I was not nothing that I'm proud of or nothing like that by far.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying go out and fight, but I always was taught to defend myself.
Right.
So I go to Cowboy Alternative School. And it's a place for kids that are.
That's in Cabell County?
No, so it's actually
where
Mary C. Snow was.
Cabell,
so it's where Mary C. Snow Elementary was. So that's where we called the bad kids. That's where the bad kids go. They got in a lot of trouble. Most of the kids there, very few were junior high kids. Most of them were high school kids. So there was like 4 of us from junior high, but everybody else was, they're high school. So you're in there with high school kids, like you're in there with classes, and so I kind of seen everybody that was in there. I was like, man, I gotta take a step back. Like, I'm not trying to be in this. Like, I'm trying to play sports. Like, I'm trying to take myself to another level and stuff like that.
Remember Adam Slate?
I don't remember.
I was gonna say you remember him. He went there too. He's a little younger than you, but he went there.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think he passed away too.
Yeah. So it's just. So I ended up moving back to South Charleston with my mom. We had a place. Within at this time, Mike, I'm 16 going on 17 years old. My mom's getting really bad.
Right.
Like she's never around and stuff like that. My brother gets shipped with my grandma in Kentucky. So now I'm I'm really mad because that's besides my uncle at that time. My brother was my only other family that I had, even though I had other family here. But I'm talking about constantly seeing every day. Like I'm around every day. So now so I was like, whatever, man. So I ended up, one of the guys I worked with, I ended up moving in with him. 16, 17 years old. I move out. So I was DJing. I was working for a DJ company.
That's what I was going to say. How did you start DJing?
Yeah.
So you started working for a DJ company.
Yeah. So I started, so this would have been, so rewind. So we moved to St. Albans.
Yeah.
I go to South Charleston in the beginning, and then we moved to St. Albans. So when we moved to St. Albans, there was the Brick House.
Yeah.
And Night Owls back in the day.
Yeah.
So me and all my friends, like we all danced. Like we'd get out there when nobody else would get out there. We'd get out there and dance and have a good time. And I know a lot of people watching this will even say as we were older we did this. Yeah. So they would call us the party starters. So we'd go out there and dance and have a good time. And then there was a DJ up there, and he seen me and my friends dancing. And he was like, man, I think y'all would be good for what I'm trying to bring back. Because they used to do this when they were younger. When the DJ had a group that did it when he was younger.
Breakdancing, sort of.
Yeah, so he'd be like, but we kind of took it to a different level. So he was like, man, come work for me and stuff like that. And so we started off working for free. Like, we didn't get paid at this time.
The guy with the vans in St. Albans that
he
brings in my dad's shop. I forget his name.
Yeah, so we started off working for him, and we're traveling. And we're having dance practice at the American Legion in St. Albans. And we're bringing in a bunch of people. And, we go by the name of the party crew. So the people call us the PC. So we're traveling from school to school. We were the ones that originally started. Well, the party crew started back in the early 90s. But in the late 90s, 2000s, there was a group of guys and myself and my friends that kind of brought it back and took it to another level. So we started, bringing the dancers to all the schools, weddings, barn bat mitzvahs and stuff like that. And we were doing stuff that nobody else was doing, like as in teaching people basic routines. It wasn't about us. Like we wouldn't say clear the dance floor and let us entertain you.
You wanted to get people on the dance floor.
Right. So our job was
engaging them.
Right. So we'd go pull them up because, a lot of people when you're at different events, they're nervous to get up and dance.
Exactly.
So we were kind of like the icebreakers.
Right.
So we'd get out there and kind of goof off a little bit and then start pulling people up, and then people see us having fun. So then we start pulling everybody up, and then we teach them like basic dance routines and stuff like that.
How to dance.
I do.
So why don't you start dancing now when you're DJing?
Because I don't know if I still. I mean, even now. I mean,
I know you do a little bit.
Of course, I got to
get out there and get it.
Yeah, of course, I got a bum leg now due to the surgery I just had. But I mean, that's what I'm known for. Even when I DJ now at 40, I engage in the crowd and get out there. And my guy Corey, he does the same thing. So and Alex, so we all go out there. And we're engaging in the crowd and kind of making it memorable for them. So we're DJing out there dancing.
Alex dance?
He gets out there and does a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, he does. He puts a little two-step.
That's his name, right?
Yeah. So he gets out there. So
that.
so we So that's where it kind of started. And then, of course, kind of like anything, when you start something, other companies see that it's working.
They start copying.
They do. They start doing it, which is, that's what you do. I mean, if
start a trend.
Yeah,
you're the one that started, but they always gonna remember who started in the area.
Correct. But now, now we've kind of evolved from that. So
right.
Every now and then we have dancers and stuff like that, but it's not something that we do all the time and stuff like that, because you always try to stay ahead of the game and create something new that nobody else is doing.
So, out of high school, whatever, we know you worked at that DJ company for that long. Did you have any other jobs in there that you had to do to make ends meet?
Yeah. So I was a worker, man. I love money. I like having
you're a hustler.
Yeah, I like to have my own money. So I worked every job I can. I mean, if it was side jobs or working actual jobs and stuff like that. I played around in some different businesses and stuff like that, but I always knew DJing was my calling. I was good at it. I love all music, and I always listened to all music growing up because it's kind of like my getaway. So I was always good at reading the crowd, and I've always been good at reading people. Like even when I bounced at bars and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I bought the DJ equipment just to have 3 or 4 events a year, and you were sort of telling me, hey, you got to sort of read what people's into. You can tell what they're going to be into.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell if you play something, you're like, oh shit. Especially with weddings, that's very, very important, right?
Yeah, it is.
So have you ever had like a moment at a wedding you're like, holy shit, I shouldn't have played that?
Oh yeah. So
Let's
not
hear
that
old shit.
Yeah,
moment.
not that I didn't play that, but I will tell you this.
Or you did that you should have.
Right. So I was at a wedding, I was at a wedding, and this is back when we had records and CDs. So I was at a wedding and I DJ'd it, and this is back when we burned music.
Yeah.
And I had somebody else in the company burn me the music playlist. Now remember, can't search and just pull a song up. So First Dance comes, right?
So you actually had a record you had to put up?
No, so this was CD. So yeah, we had records. I had records.
Yeah, but you had to put CDs in.
CDs, yeah. So the way it was, we had a coffin, and it was literally a coffin. I mean, it's about 7 foot long.
No Spotify, no Apple Music. It was just actual CDs.
It was records on top, cassette tapes on the bottom.
Turntables on top and cassettes.
Cassette tapes, and then you had your CDs.
You had a little bit of mix of both.
Yeah, and then I had an amp on the bottom that was literally, I mean, it was about this tall. I mean, literally went under a table. So I didn't even listen to the CD before, which I always did, but I didn't for this one. I played the song, and it is not the right song. And I knew as soon as I played it.
Well, I mean, what part of the wedding was this?
It was First Dance.
First Dance.
It's their first dance.
Shit.
Like I hyped it up.
Oh,
like we done did the entrance. I'm hyped up. Everybody's
so what
excited.
Did they look at? Did they say, "Hey"?
So it's an embarrassing moment, right?
Yeah.
So as a DJ, like you're red, like you can feel the heat. So I play it and I look out there and I'm like, I realize that that's not the song, and it's a slow song, but it's not their song.
Yeah.
So they're dancing or whatever, and they're kind of like looking at me. And I'm like, I gotta bust a move. Like I gotta make up for this. So I let the song play because, like I said, back then you can't just pull it unless you got it.
So you're probably like, that's a warm up song.
No, so I played it or whatever, and of course they went by, and I could tell they were kind of upset about it. Everything else was fine, but their first dance. But I always learned too, not everything's perfect, and it's not how you begin.
It's how you end.
It's how you end it. So I was like, man, I've got to make this like the wedding of the century. Because if not, I mean, this could be a ripple effect. Because, and I tell people this all the time, DJs and anybody else, I mean, people that own businesses and small companies and stuff like that, I never understood how when they mess up one or a few times, I mean, everybody's going to do it. It don't matter what industry, what business you're in. You're going to mess up. You're going to have employees that mess up. You're going to have, people do stuff too. So, yeah. And I'm the same way. I mean, the past 2 years has been the toughest 2 years of my life, business-wise, because I had everything.
The economy is not the greatest right
now. And on my side of it, I had everything at its peak, like going. Like, I had everything going. And then, unfortunately, I had a DJ pass away. And then I had a DJ that retired. So, long story short, I had to refund. So, anyways, I ended the party right, but what I was going back about the rest of that is you can mess up a few times as a small business, and I use this company with the golden arches a lot because you hear about it a lot. anybody there, their ice cream machine don't work, or any other fast food chain, or one of the big stores could mess your order up. You never hear people complain or say I'm not going back to it. And there's a restaurant review page on social media, and people will go to
last night.
People will go to a new business,
and
right?
Trash them and not even give
and
them
trash them, and they just open, so they're trying to work out the kinks, and people expect them to be perfect. It's never going to be that way, because this, Mike. In this day and age, it's hard to find people that work, good workers, that are going to stay there with you, that want to learn, that want to excel. The way that this society has been brought is they've made it too easy for people not to work, especially when COVID happened. Because I feel like when COVID happened, everybody's work ethic went out the door, because it's so easy to make more money not working and to get stuff to not work.
Figure out what programs they can get on, and
it's made it harder for small businesses
to supplement this income, supplement that, and then they're like, oh, I only need to do part time, and then I can just have this.
Because when you go to these restaurants and stuff, I mean, when I go out to eat, this is no lie. When me and my family go out to eat, family of 5, I'm not expecting to have all my meals out there in 30 or 45 minutes. Most of the time, they're understaffed from the front to the back.
Yeah,
they're understaffed, so I don't expect to have my food. When I go out to eat, I know it's going to take some time. I know if I've got a family of 5 and there's people out there, and not all the time, but sometimes something's going to come out wrong.
What's a nice sit down place? You're expecting what?
I mean, I would say an hour.
Yeah.
An hour. I'd say, the first couple of minutes, they bring you your drinks. And, I've learned, I tell my kids when we go, look up the menu. What appetizers do you want? So soon we get our drinks, we'll get our appetizers.
Yeah.
And then you wait on your main course. But, it's not McDonald's. You go through, they throw the, I call it kangaroo meat, but it's really not. Sorry, McDonald's. But, you don't just throw it on a grill and get it in 20 minutes. If you want that service, then go to McDonald's. But the restaurants and stuff like that, I mean, nobody wants to work your industry. It's hard to find good workers.
Terrible.
And my industry, and I'll kind of hip everybody to this for 2026. I mean, I'm not downsizing, but I am downsizing staff. I'm not going to have as many DJs this year. Around here in West Virginia.
You're just going to try to make it more profitable, more efficient.
It is. So for the first time ever in my life, I raised my prices, but I will still always give discounts to military, teachers, first responders, because.
So when did you start your? I know you're getting ready to go on this, but I want to take it. When did you start your own DJ company?
So in 2016, I had the opportunity. An opportunity came along, and everybody was telling me, they're like, JC, like. You're different from everybody else, man. They're like, you're more of a people's person. You're not a robot. They said you don't try to overdo stuff, like, and I don't want to say this in the wrong way because I'm respectful to everybody, but I don't go around. It's all about me. I don't go around smoozing and stuff like that. I talk to all my clients, all my vendors. Very respectful, and I have a great connection with all them, but I'm not somebody that wants to be in the spotlight. And I know that sounds horrible, and I know this day and age, in social media and stuff like that, you got to be, but I've never been like that, and I don't want to be like that. I'm just not somebody that wants to be, face blasted all over. I don't want to be all up in your camera. I don't want to be all up in your video and stuff like that. It's all about the person I'm doing the event for. Right. So I got the opportunity in 2016, a bunch of party planners in Pittsburgh, Big Day Entertainment, stuff like that, were like, JC, I think you can do this thing on yourself. So I went to my current boss that was at the time, and I was like, hey, like, because he contracted other DJs out that didn't work for him. Yeah. So I was like, hey, like, I'm going to start my own business. I'm not going to, you keep the deposit, and I'll keep the rest. You know what I mean? They can pay me the rest. I'll take care of the employees and stuff like that. So I saved money, bought equipment, had some family that helped me out and stuff like that to get going and show me the direction I needed to go, and some friends. So I ended up doing that, and I actually started off, and I started all over. I could have. So the guy that I worked for, he's like, no, I don't. He kind of told me, hey, we just go do your thing. We'll just part ways. Now, with that being said, remember, I've got 15 years of clients.
So you didn't buy him out?
No.
So all the people that hired him through you basically went with you?
No. So here's what happened. So I've got 15 years because me and another guy there, we were like the ones that talked to all the clients, that booked all the gigs, went door to door, went to all these places and stuff like that. So remember, I've got 15 years of all these people's numbers, emails. I could have easily went back and called every single one of them and been like, hey, I went on my own, book with me, but I didn't do that.
Right.
Because it's the wrong thing to do. And
business ethics. That's not ethics. It's not
I believe when you do stuff like that, you get karma for it.
Right.
I truly believe that. So talked to a lady that was over. Her name was Ann at the West Virginia Wedding Expo. And at this time, like, I knew nothing about what anybody around there charged for weddings. So this is 2016. I knew nothing. And this was January of 2017. So I started in September of 16. So I do the Wedding Expo. And I got, Mike, I didn't know what people set up. I got a 6-foot table. I got a laptop. And I did 2 weddings that year. So I put, on iMovie, I put together live clips. Yeah. And had them on big screen TVs. Yeah. And just played them. And me and a couple guys, or one of the guys that were with me, we dressed up and had our shoes on and stuff like that. And that's why they called me DJ Jazzy JC, because I went to East Steps. Jazzy. Well, I went to East Steps, and he had all these shiny shoes that were different. I was like, nobody really is doing this. So to make me kind of different, I'll wear these shoes and match the top to it, and kind of. Yeah. So then everybody started calling me DJ Jazzy JC. So that's how that kind of got started. So I did the Wedding Expo, and while I'm there, we're people. So we're not behind the thing. Look, I'm out there. I took like 500 business cards, and I'm out there interacting with them, like we're talking to them. I booked 100 weddings. But here's what got me.
That's crazy.
I didn't know how much weddings were. Yeah. And I knew nobody in that industry around here in West Virginia. And I didn't know that many people around here got married. So I was traveling doing weddings for like $800.
Yeah. Way underpaid.
Which I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, what was a typical wedding back then?
So I think back then it was $1,200, $1,300. And
what's it now?
And they travel. You got to pay travel.
Yeah, like what's it now?
So I would say a good DJ, and there's a lot of them around here besides our company. I would say a great, good DJ, if you want a professional who's insured, got the right equipment, that's going to do everything right, starts off about $1,500. I'd say $1,500 to $4,000 for a good DJ. And that's with, uplighting, photo booths.
DJs, it's 10, 15,000, 20,000.
Yeah, yeah. So,
even around here.
Yeah, so, if you do 10, 15, but here's what comes with that. That's what I was getting at. So if you do 15 or 20,000, then you're offering everything. Like, you're kind of like a one-stop shop, and that's kind of where we were getting at. So like
decorating.
So my company, we don't do.
What's your company called?
We Make You the Star Entertainment.
We Make You the Star.
Yep. So what we do is photo booths, uplighting, dancing on the cloud, anything that's different. We do the party favors and stuff like that. Different things that people want. But I kind of try to stay ahead of the game every year. So I see all this stuff trending, and I go to different events and stuff like that throughout the year to see what news coming out. And then I'll add that package onto it to kind of give, clients their choice. And now, don't get me wrong, I have packages that they can choose from.
So what's your biggest, sorry to interrupt, but what's your biggest struggle? I think you touched on a little bit earlier, is finding people to help, but why are you downsizing? What is your biggest struggle right now?
So here's why I'm downsizing, and it's the honest truth. So nobody does it like you do it. Yeah. So when people call Mike Chandler Auto Solutions, they want to talk to Mike Chandler and see Mike Chandler. Yeah. They don't want to hire John back at the desk. They're hiring Mike Chandler Auto Solutions. So DJing wise, when I tell people, hey, we do have availability, and I'm the one that talks to them, because just like you, I'm the owner of the company. So I'm talking to them and stuff like that. But then my DJ will reach out to them too. Like, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm your DJ, because I always want to make that connection. Right. And sometimes, my other DJs have other jobs and stuff like that too. So sometimes they're not on point like I am. Like, Mike, if I'm DJing your wedding next Saturday, I'm calling you, a couple months ahead of time, and like, hey, do you have the wedding questionnaires or anything you need from me?
Some questions for us.
Yeah. So there's other stuff like that I kind of go at and I look for, and nobody does it like you. But I do have a team now, 2 guys up north and 2 guys here, that does exactly. I've never had an issue with. Everybody loves them. And what's crazy is we all kind of come off the same branch because we're all just alike. But we all have our own unique styles. But when it comes to planning and making sure everything right for the clients,
now, do you go anywhere? Are you able to go anywhere and do a DJ? Like if somebody sees this podcast and they're in Tennessee, can you go to Tennessee? Can you go to Texas?
Oh yeah.
You know, if the money's right, travel and all that, and they want you.
Yeah, so I'll still travel all over the United States. That'll never change.
You'll collab with other DJs too on big parties.
I'll collab. Yeah, I've did events where, we set up both of our DJ setups, right? And they go on from whatever 6 to 8, and then I go in 8.
There was also something, I don't know if you've got it yet or you've ironed the deal out yet, but a casino maybe. Are you still working on that? Or
yeah. So
a bigger casino.
AJ Fresh with Fresh Media. He actually DJs for me and owns a big media company up in Washington, PA. He got us into the Hard Rock Casino in Bristol, Tennessee. Me and him will be collabing on some big things there and some other casinos.
Or no?
I think New Year's is going to happen, and New Year's Eve we got We Make You the Star. We'll have a DJ down here in St. Albans. It's 63 main events.
That's what I was going to tell you. Like, where's a couple public events that you can find DJ Jazzy JC at within the next month or two?
Yeah, so starting tomorrow at Hat Tricks Bar and Grill down here in St. Albans, West Virginia. Now, I remind you, this is my first gig since my injury, so you'll have to bear with me. I'm going to be on crutches, but I'm going to be DJing. We're doing Thanksgiving Eve down here, and it'll probably be, I'm not going to lie to you, they're expecting a lot of people. I mean, it's going to be tomorrow night. They're going to have family-friendly stuff from 11 to 8.
It's Wednesday, right? It's the party night, ain't it?
Tomorrow. Yeah, it's the Thanksgiving Eve is one of the biggest party nights.
Unfortunately, this show's not going to air until like 2 weeks out. So
yeah.
So if you got some...
Yeah, New Year's Eve, 63 main events. And
where's that at?
Right here on Main Street where Coal River Coffee is. They're having a huge New Year's Eve party, both floors. They're opening up both floors and both sides.
That's what I was going to tell you. Tell the people watching like from 2 weeks from now, because it's not going to air for 2 weeks, where they can find you. So 63, where else?
63 main events, New Year's Eve. Main Street down here in St. Albans, West Virginia. They're going to have bottom and top open and both sides open. It's going to be a huge, probably the biggest New Year's Eve party around it. Everybody. You just buy your tickets online. I've shared it on We Make You the Star Entertainment on Facebook, DJ Jazzy JC on Facebook. You'll be able to go in there and buy your tickets, drinks, food. Shuckers is going to be catering the food, which is going to be tremendously great food. All unlimited drinks and stuff like that is going to be at your stuff and like that. We have South Charleston Memorial Ice Arena in South Charleston. We're doing a big Santa event there. December 20th. Our photo booth will be there for Santa for everybody in the community. And the crazy thing is, get your tickets as soon as you can, because it will sell out. It's sold out every year. Hundreds of tickets have been sold out. Free cookies, art, stuff like that.
All right. So we're going to end this here. But before we end this, I want, one last thing that you want people to remember you as. What do you want people to know? DJ Jazzy JC Collins. Who is DJ Jazzy JC Collins today? Who you've come from and who you was. Just like summarize like what you are today.
Absolutely.
Tell the cameras.
So I've learned a lot my whole life. Been through a lot, financially, family wise, stuff like that. Over the past 2 years has been the hardest 2 years of my life, both with my business and personally. I've lost a lot of people over the past 2 years. I was involved in a bad accident not too long ago at an event, and I've had some friends along the way that's helped me out, that's continued to help me out, that I'm making things right for, and they're helping me out with. But what I want you all to know about me is, no matter what you go through in life, no matter how we were raised, and this especially goes to kids, adults too, you have a choice to make. You can either go right or left. You don't have to do what everybody else is doing. Be your own person. Like I tell my kids, be a leader, not a follower. Continue to strive for greatness. You're going to hit wall after wall. The devil's going to continuously try to stop you from being great at whatever you want to do. I don't care if it's being the greatest at McDonald's or being the greatest DJ or the greatest basketball player. Live out your dream. Do everything the way that you want it, and continue, because my road in life has not been easy, and I've still made mistakes. But I will be making everything right, and I will still continue to strive to be the best dad, the best DJ, the best entertainer I can be until the day that I retire. And it's a testament for all you all out there. You can make it no matter what, no matter how you grow up, where you're born at. If you lose your parents, if you don't have family or you do, it's all on you. Nobody else can do it for you but yourself.
That's good. That's good, man. That's good life lessons there. I want to thank you for coming on, DJ Jazzy JC. They can find you where?
Facebook, We Make You the Star Entertainment, and DJ Jazzy JC, We Make You, the letter A, star.com is our website. TikTok has been blowing up here lately, which I'm surprised
What's
about.
What's that under, Josh?
So DJ Jazzy JC 85.
DJ Jazzy JC 85.
So it's been blowing up. I'm
you
new
do
to
some lives.
Yeah, so I'm actually able to go live now.
Good,
I've got my followers up. And,
get over and gift him.
Yeah,
he needs them gifts.
Yeah, there. But I'll be going live and stuff a lot on there now that I can now at my shows and stuff like that. And now I've got a couple people that's reached out to collab and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, man. We're signing off here. I appreciate you coming on. Mike Chandler Show, signing out.